Good morning, children. Now let's continue with the second part of this lesson, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Now, in the previous session, we had found out how Peterson, the security guard of Holmes, had brought him a hat and a goose. Okay. Now, tied to the left leg of the goose was, a letter with the name, okay, Henry Baker, okay, written in it. And the inside of the hat also, HB was written. Now, it is up to Watson, as well as his friend, that is Holmes, to find out who that Henry Baker was. Okay, let's continue with the lesson. But as there are thousands of bakers and hundreds of Henry Bakers in this city, it's impossible to know which one. So now Henry Baker's was written on the inside of the hat. Okay, but it was actually impossible to find out which Henry Baker this hat or even the goose belonged to. What did Peterson do? He brought both the hat and the goose round to me on Christmas morning. As he knows, I find even the smallest problems interesting. Okay, so Peterson, who's a security guard, had brought the hat as well as the goose to, yes, Holmes. Okay, because he used to find even, smallest problems very interesting. We kept the goose until this morning, when there were signs that it should be eaten immediately. Peterson had taken it home, while I still have the hat of the unknown gentleman who lost his Christmas dinner. Okay, so till morning they had kept the goose, but when they found that the goose had to be eaten immediately, Peterson took it home. But of course, Holmes still has a hat with him, okay? And of course, the gentleman to whom the goose belonged to had lost his Christmas dinner. And what are you going to do with it? I'm going to find the owner. So Watson asked Holmes what he was going to do with the hat. Okay, and Holmes said that he was going to find the owner. How on earth are you going to do that? Okay, which means how is he going to find out who the owner is? By seeing what I can deduce, okay, from his hat, exactly. Okay, so what is this deduction? So looking at the hat, Holmes is going to find out to whom the hat belongs to. So he is going to investigate to whom this hat belonged to. You joking? What can you learn from a dirty old hat? So that's Watson asking Holmes what he is going to get, whether he is going to find out anything from that dirty old hat. Here's my magnifying glass. You know my methods. What can you tell about the owner from this hat? Okay, then I picked it up and turned it over. It was an ordinary black hat, but in a very bad condition. It was cracked and covered in dust, and there were dirty marks in several places. So Holmes took it up and turned it over, and of course it was just an ordinary black hat, but it was in a very bad condition. It was cracked, it was covered in soot and dust, and there were dirty marks in many places. Someone had tried to hide these by painting them with ink. So somebody had tried to hide, the dirty marks by painting them with ink. The inside was lined with red silk, but it was very discolored. Okay, so the inside of the hat was lined with red silk, but it was also very discolored. There was no maker's name, but as Holmes had said, on one side there were the initials HB. I could also see that they had once been a loop to fix the hat to the head, but the elastic was missing. Okay, so no maker's name was there on the hat, but on one side of the hat, HB initials, the initials HB was written. And Holmes could also see that, okay, there was a loop which was used to fix the hat to the head, but the elastic was not there. It was missing. I can say nothing, I said, handing it back to my friend. Okay, so Watson looked at the hat. He, of course, could not find anything. But I disagree, Watson. You can see everything, but you're not thinking about what you see. You're not making any deductions. So, Watson was looking at the hat, but he could not understand. Okay, he was not able to deduce or make out. And this is what Holmes wanted his friend to do. Then please tell me what you can deduce from this hat. So, now here Watson looked at Holmes and asked him what he actually could deduce by looking at that hat. He picked it up and looked at it very carefully as he always did. Of course, okay. Now, children, if you are watching this CID and all, you have found out how carefully, okay, they look at things and try to study. Okay, so here also Holmes took the hat and he picked it up and looked at it very, very carefully. He was trying to study the hat. Some facts are fairly clear, he said, and a few others are very likely, if not certain. So, looking at the hat, he said there are many, many facts which are very clear. For example, anyone can see that the owner is intelligent and also that he has been fairly rich within the last 3 years. But he's lost a lot of money recently. Okay, so just see what Holmes was able to make out. He said that the owner of that hat is an intelligent fellow and he was rich, quite rich, till the last 3 years. Okay, and he had lost a lot of money recently. He's careful and likes to plan things, but less now than in the past. So, again, this man, okay, who's the owner of the hat, is very careful and he also likes to plan things. But now he doesn't do that much as he used to do in the past. If you consider that he's lost money, then that's quite likely. Okay, so just see, children, what all Holmes was able to make out just by looking at that dirty hat. Okay, my dear Holmes, however, he still has some self-esteem, he continued. Okay, so the owner of the hat still had some self-esteem. Okay, he still had some sort of a pride in him. He's a man who doesn't take exercise, isn't very fit, and goes out rarely. So, this man, he doesn't do any sort of exercise. He's not a very fit fellow. And also, he doesn't go out often. Okay. He is middle-aged, has curly hair, and uses hair cream. Okay. So, this man is a middle-aged fellow and he has curly hair and he also uses hair cream. And he's had his hair cut within the last few days. Okay. And this man had his hair cut just within the last few days. These are the more obvious facts which we can tell from this hat. Okay. So children, just imagine what Holmes was able to make out. What is that? This man, who's the owner of the hat, doesn't take exercise, okay, and he isn't very fit, and also goes out very rarely. He's middle aged, and he also has curly hair and uses hair cream, and he also had a haircut just within the last few days. Oh yes, one other thing, he probably doesn't have gas lighting in his house. Okay, so just imagine how deeply he has gone into his investigation. You must be joking, Holmes. Certainly not. Is it really possible that you can't see how I know, even though I've told you all this? Okay, now, so shall we have some questions now based on this? Okay, now started with I picked up, okay, till missing. Now we'll have a passage here, a comprehension passage from I picked it up till missing. Okay, so the first one is, what did the hat look like? Okay, so look at this. It was cracked and covered in dust, and there were dirty marks in several places. Okay, so what did the hat look like? The hat was cracked and it was covered in dust, and there were dirty marks in several places. What was the inside of the hat lined with? Okay, look at this. We have the answer here. The inside was lined with red silk, but it was very discolored. Okay, so what was the inside of the hat lined with? The inside of the hat was lined with red silk. What is used to fix the hat to the head? Okay, so look at this. I could also see that there had once been a loop to fix the hat to the head, but the elastic was missing. Okay, so what was used to fix the hat to the head? A loop was used to fix the hat to the head. The fourth question now. I picked it up and turned it over. Write the tense of the underlined word. Now what's the underlined word here? It is picked. So picked is, what is the tense of picked? It is the past tense. Okay. Fifth one, write the antonym of the following words from the passage. Okay. We have the word outside. Okay. From the passage, the antonym of outside is inside. And second one, colored, discolored. Okay, children. So we'll continue with this lesson in the next session. I hope you found this lesson very, very interesting. Okay. So we'll continue in the next session. Thank you.